Thank you. All right, let's move on at this point. Maybe we can revisit this conversation at a later time, but I'd like to move on to Dr. Ahmed and ask his perspective on the political implications since Rabaa, what we've learned and what we need to do moving forward. Dr. Ahmed.
Yes, I think before we come to Rabaa, I think we have to go like 11 years back before Rabaa, 11 years back before Rabaa on 10 days after the collapse of Mubarak regime. I was sitting with Hillary Clinton in her office. We were conducting a social media forum between Hillary Clinton and the young people in Tahrir Square. And after the forum, Hillary Clinton told me that, about the tape that Ayman al-Zawahiri made before the revolution. Ayman al-Zawahiri made a tape before the revolution, talking about that, if you think that democracy will bring freedom to the Muslims in the Middle East, you don't know anything about anything. And she was proud that now it showed that, after the revolution, that this is the route to go, the democracy route. And you see the people in Tahrir Square and see the changes that's coming to the Middle East. And for Hillary Clinton at the head of the State Department at this time, she was thinking, at least she's showing that this is the way to combat terrorism by spreading democracy in the Middle East. Now, after Rabaa Square, we see a totally different picture in place, not just in Egypt. We see it in Egypt, we see it in Syria, we see it in Libya, we see it in Yemen, we see it in every place that's the young Arabs in the street demanding their freedom, they were crushed. I think what we are heading to, where we are right now, this zero-sum equation that's actually happening in the Middle East, basically telling young people in the Middle East, not just in Egypt, that's in order for you to get your freedom, either you'll be killed or you have to kill somebody to get your freedom. There is no middle ground here. There is no other ways to do it. If you stand for your freedom, you will be killed, as what happened in Rabaa, as what happened in Syria, as what happened in Yemen. And the only way for you is to go and, kill the people that will kill you. So I think it's not about, if Ayman al-Zawahiri was wrong or right now. It's about what is happening. This, I think this is the responsibility that the international powers, especially the United States, since I live in the United States and I have a lot of encounters with the American congressmen and people in power. 2 days, 1 month before the massacre of Rabaa, I was invited to the State Department iftar dinner. I was sitting with John Kerry, and I told him, we need to find a solution for what's going on in Egypt. That's before Rabaa Square massacre. And he said, we are working hard to support democracy in Egypt. I don't know. I think the definition of supporting democracy is different now than then. It's taking responsibility for this international. They are implementing the seeds of terror right now, because what people like us, that we don't resort to anything but our words and our action, our activism, what can we do right now to convince people in the streets in Egypt, in Libya, in Yemen, that there is something called democracy, that you can get your right through election, that you have to organize and run for offices and stuff like that to change? All that is gone. There is no political process in Egypt. There is no political process in Syria and Yemen, anywhere. So the only route for them to change is to resort to other groups like ISIS or other groups, because at least in the mind of those young people, they are doing something. They are not killed for no reasons. So I think what led to Rabaa is not just the Rabaa Square or what happened in Rabaa Square. I think the moral responsibility for Obama, them refusing to call what happened in Egypt a coup, that actually gave a green light to this regime to continue their plans. Because the most powerful nation on the world, the military power that gives you $1 billion and like more than $2 billion a year, they refuse to call what you have done as a coup. They even describe it as a coup. Then it's not a coup. Maybe it's something else. Maybe we can continue. This is a green light, and anyone understand politics, understand this is a green light to continue your, so what happened in Rabaa is what a matter of time, because you have two competing powers right now. You have the democratic powers that actually they believe that even if we have a failed president, even if we have an unpopular president, we still have to continue the course, and we cannot just go to a coup in order to unseat this president. And you have another power that's taking the street with tanks that say, I'm here, I'm going to destroy everyone that stands against me. And you stay neutral at this time. You are not neutral. You're actually supporting the anti-democratic regime that's happening in Egypt. So I think if it's 1 year, 5 years, or 10 years, we still need the American society, the American taxpayers, because the $2 billion that we give to the Egypt is coming from the taxpayers. It's not Biden is paying it from his pocket. So the American taxpayers and the American government and the European government, they have to take responsibility for what's happening, for the seeds of terror that's actually implemented in Egypt by allowing these regimes to just do whatever they want. So this is the first step for us, to stand there and let them know that you cannot just go away from this responsibility. Don't come back and cry after 5 or 10 years when there is big movement, big terror movements sweeping across the nation, and say, what is that happening and why they hate us? You already started this. You did that to yourself. And the second thing is for people like us, people like have nothing. We don't have any military background. We're not going to go and start military organizations. All what we have is our voice that we voice through social media, through TVs, and through our organizing on the street that we have. We will keep saying, we'll keep organizing, and we'll keep talking. This is what we can do. And I think this is the right thing, because the clashes, the terror is not the answer. The answer for us to keep organizing and keep talking, because it's very tough right now for us, for our position, because I know there's a lot of people that see us and say, and people tell me in the street from Egypt, they send me messages through Facebook and stuff like that, and said, you guys been talking for 10 years and nothing happens. And I agree with you. We've been talking for 10 years and we'll keep talking, because this is what we have to do. This is what we can do. And guess what? Our talking and our stand and webinars like this, it's just telling people that is not over yet. We're not defeated yet. We're standing here, and we're continuing to stand, and we continue to speak truth to power. No matter what, things will change. Economic status, political status will change. But the principles, the democratic principles that we are calling for will stand the test of time. And we bet on that. Thank you.
Thank you.